Join us, Alix
and Colleen,
self-proclaimed fake it till you make it experts, as we navigate the highs and lows of being a woman and how the pressure and overwhelm of trying to do it all often leads to feeling like an imposter in our own lives.
Joining us this week is Sandra Drover, owner of popular retailer Fitcedra, an all-around ball of sunshine. Sandra chats with us about her small business journey, commitment to sustainability, and all the ways she has combated imposter syndrome along the way.
Alix, you're wearing another hat.
I know. And this is probably airing in May. It's probably ridiculous.
You look silly right now.
I feel like wearing a hat has almost become part of my brand on this podcast. I don't know what I'm going to do in the actual summer.
Well, it is, but we might have to get you some, because it's actually got a winter little fur ball on it. And it is, people are going to be looking at this in May going, it must be really cold in that coffee shop.
Well, here's the thing. We usually record several episodes an evening and I bring multiple hats.
She does.
Like I literally wear multiple hats.
Yeah. And we often bring changes of clothes. I didn't this time. So you're going to see 2 episodes with me in the same plaid shirt.
Yeah, you're just going to think she always wears it.
I do wear plaid a lot.
So it's black and white. No one can even tell.
That's true. I love that it's black and white. I love the black and white brand.
I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope you warm up soon.
Never. Hats for life.
Hats for life. Do you wear a ball hat?
I do. I have some snapback caps that'll probably pull out for summer. I also just bought a cute sun hat, so you never know what you'll see.
Watch for the hats. For this episode's guest, we have Sandra Drover. Drover.
Like the cattle driver. Cape Breton
in
Newfoundland. Right? Yes, it is.
Is that where you're from?
My grandfather is.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
So Sandra, we always start our episodes with talking about what we see when we meet the person, or what we know of the person, and then you tell us a little about yourself. One of the things we only met recently.
Yes.
And we're doing a little bit of social media work together. But I have to say, you are online one of the quirkiest people I've ever seen. You are happy to, Sandra has a clothing store called Fitcedra, and you are more than happy to dance in the clothes and show the clothes and have fun, and just, you look to be enjoying life.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Colleen, because throughout my life, that's pretty much how people have described me or how they view me. But how I see myself in those roles is completely different. So me dancing on Instagram and showing the clothes and smiling and being goofy and everything, it takes a lot out of me, and it takes me completely out of my comfort zone. Wow. But it's in me, obviously, because everybody sees it, but I don't see it in myself.
So. Do you not think you do a good job?
No, I feel that I'm constantly
judged.
I feel like I'm being judged, and that people are evaluating me. Look at that girl. What is she doing? She looks like a fool. Yeah. Like, does she think she's being funny? And then I wonder, like, are people going to watch this and really engage with it, or are they going to, like I said, judge me on it?
But it's fun. One of the things I had said a couple of episodes ago is that we don't play enough as individuals, and I, you stop playing at some point when you're a kid, and I don't laugh out loud. I chuckle if something hits me funny, I giggle or I chuckle, but inside I'm thinking something's really funny, but I'm afraid to laugh because I don't want other people to think, who is that woman laughing? I have an aunt who laughs.
Oh yeah.
And she's so joyful to be around, and everybody turns and gets a kick out of it.
It's funny because laughter for me is huge, but like you say, I don't do it as much, but when I do, and especially when I do it with my mother, we get into this snorting fit, like nonstop, can't breathe, and the tears are pouring down our face. And then we have everyone around us laughing too, right? But it doesn't happen as often as it used to.
Like maybe because until your belly hurts,
you walk away with washboard abs, right?
Exactly.
Because you've been laughing so hard, but it doesn't come as easily anymore. Maybe it's just because we're too focused and we don't take the time to relax and really enjoy all those little things in life.
I think we're afraid to show emotion more and more now too, though, because emotion often means vulnerability, and people don't want to position themselves too obviously in a certain party or another, or a certain area or another. So I think the people are more reserved on a whole. Also, there's the notion of, things coming across the wrong way or not wanting to be perceived a certain way. And so everything is a little bit more monitored. So I feel like that's why it's harder for us to get to that raw emotion, which is too bad.
And with social media anymore, we're always in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right. We're under a microscope, basically.
And that's the thing, you have to be, in order to have a small business, run a business,
Right.
you have to promote that business, and you
Right.
are the face of your brand. So
Right.
they're doing it.
Like, I'm 53. I started Fitcetera when I was 51. I literally had an Instagram account, but I never went on it. I was Facebook. Right. And then starting this business, it was an intricate part, and I knew it was a vital part to help get awareness with my business. And I had to learn it, and I had to put myself out there. And I've never been one to be comfortable with public speaking or being the loudest one in the room or anything like that. But I had to force myself to do that.
You're doing it very well, though. You really are. And, when we started doing some work together, I said to you, your posts are good.
You're not the only one either.
You're happy to put it out there. You're happy to put yourself out there. You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing it.
You're
Yes,
doing it.
I'm
More
doing
than a
it,
lot
yeah.
of business owners are comfortable doing, particularly showing face and, showcasing what you have to offer. So kudos.
Thank you.
Kudos.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Wow, it's been an interesting one for me. So as we mentioned, my roots come from the Maritimes, but I actually was born and raised in Ontario. I worked in the corporate world out of university for about 4 or 5 years. Wasn't really my thing. I was living back in the Maritimes at that point. Moved back to Ontario and started my first business alongside my father, which was very industrial based. Apparel based still, but it was industrial. So I would literally go into Nova Scotia Power and outfit their linemen from head to toe.
Oh, wow.
With all their protective equipment. So I did that for 15 years. Sold out in 2015 because it totally burnt me out. Came back to the Maritimes with my now husband and opened Fitcetera because it's always been a dream of mine to have my own clothing store. Oddly enough, it may surprise you, I did not have any retail experience or background.
So what was the basis of the dream?
Yeah.
So
What inspires
so
you?
there was a store in Burlington, Ontario is where I grew up, called Joelle's. And it's been around for the good part of my 20s, 30s is when they first opened. And I would walk in there and it was just that place where you just be like, oh, it's so beautiful in here. It's so inviting, and just loved everything. I loved the staff. I loved the feel about it. And I'm like, I really want to do this. This is fun. Like and I've always been the one to flip through the magazines, the fashion magazines, and I've always been told, you're always so fashionable, right? So it's just always been ingrained in me. And I just thought, well, there's no better time. There's never a good time. So I just thought, well, why not? At 51, here I am doing it.
There isn't ever a good time.
Yeah.
You in particular did it right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes. I was mandated to lock down on the third lockdown. So I was affected by the third lockdown. Yeah. Yeah, which was huge because I don't even open a month. So that was a big blow. Yeah. And I knew there was that possibility. I took the gamble and opened during the pandemic, but I had already started on the path. Then COVID hit, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep going. I could stop, but is there ever a perfect time? No.
And
so,
how about imposter syndrome with opening up your own store, never doing retail before?
Wow. Yeah. I'm in a very competitive environment. So everywhere I turn, I was constantly comparing myself to other businesses and how can I get there? I'll never get there. There's no way. It's not going to happen. And I struggle with it every day. I still struggle with it every day. I go on social media. I constantly compare and evaluate myself against other businesses like mine. And yeah, it's a struggle. It's a very real struggle.
Serving up hot brews, refreshing cold drinks, lots of fresh baked goodies, and delicious lunch options. Visit the Mellow Mug in the heart of Larry Utech for dine-in, takeout, or drive-through service. Their spacious cafe offers a casual and inviting vibe that's perfect for everything from enjoying a good book, hanging with friends, or meeting a colleague. The Mellow Mug is your neighborhood spot for great coffee and delicious eats and sweets. Do you set your expectations too high?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am an overachiever. The problem with my expectations is if they're not met, I instantly go down a rabbit hole.
I can
And
relate to that.
yeah, and I have to dig myself back out. And it's not always easy. I have a great support, like at home and with my husband and everything, so that helps. But it's retraining your mind, like to just stay positive. It's okay. Everybody deals with it. It's not just me, but it's understanding that and realizing that.
Sorry.
I think it's part of that entrepreneur mindset is that, it's all or nothing kind of. I don't know about you, but I definitely deal in absolutes. So if something doesn't go the way that I envisioned it, it's a complete failure. And it's like building myself back up again.
Right.
But I think that from what we've talked to, so many business owners have said similar things about those types of comparison and wanting to achieve certain things and never being able to, or not getting to where you want to be, even though it's really impressive and you've done a really great job, but it still kind of feels like it's not good enough.
Right.
And it's constantly battling that
Constant.
thought process.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got a lot of skin in the game. I mean, you've got stock, you've got all this inventory, you've got to sell, you've got to succeed, you don't want to fail.
No, failure is the last thing I wanted.
Of course.
Yeah. But my husband has always said to me, he goes, it's not failure. You tried.
Yeah.
So you can't look at it. If it doesn't go as planned, it's not failure. You gave it your all. So you got to take the positive out of that. Like,
and
you
you're
just can't.
enjoying it.
Oh yeah. I do love it. It's
Yeah.
stressful. It's challenging, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I love my people. I love shopping for collections. I love the whole
That would be
aspect
my
of it.
favorite
I've always thought that I would like to go to some of those shows where you
Buying
like the
shows.
buying
Oh.
shows where they look
So
so
I
good.
went to my first one this February. So I had been dealing with buyers and viewing collections virtually for 2 years. And you know how hard that is when you can't touch and feel something?
Yeah.
So I actually, apart from an agency that I deal with in Dartmouth, this was the first time I hopped on a plane and went to Toronto and actually met with a couple of agencies, went into their showrooms and actually looked at the collections, felt them, tried them on. It was just incredible. It was amazing. And it totally changed the experience, right? So I don't have to hum and haw like this stuff's going to show up and be like, oh my God, I ordered that. Like, what is that? Seriously, I got to sell this now? Like, what?
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Have you ever ordered something that you're
You're like, what is this? This is horrible.
But then I'm buying clothes online for yourself times 1,000,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
gamble if this is actually going to look the way it looks.
Yeah. But then there's things that I look at and go, oh my God, then I put it on the floor and it sells out. So yeah.
The other part of your business that's pretty fantastic is you buy all sustainable.
I do.
Everything that's in your store
Right.
is a sustainable product. It's a
Yeah. So in opening this, because it is such a competitive environment, I did my research, looked, what was around, and I also looked at the industry as a whole. The industry is probably the biggest polluter on the planet, and people don't realize it because stuff is just mass produced, worn once, twice, maybe not even purchased, and then it just ends up in landfill. And there's just so much emission in order to create these products. So I thought, if I'm going to do this, I want to make a difference. So all the brands in-house have a sustainable focus and want to do better for the environment.
do you ever feel like an imposter in that whole field of sustainable stuff?
Yeah, because I'm not an expert in it. It's just something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
So, not everyone may believe what I believe, but it's rooted in me. But yeah, like I can't say I've written books or anything on it because I haven't.
I think I would have a fear that if I made a mistake and brought in a
Mm.
brand and that somebody else turned around and said, wait a minute, this brand did such and such, 2 years ago. And I think I personally would be,
Yeah.
that's got to be a little bit nerve wracking.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. And there is that fear that that's going to happen. Right. And I have to be ready for it.
Yeah,
But I know I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess, getting that confidence in myself, knowing that what I'm doing is making a difference. And if I am approached on a subject, just, confidently articulate that to someone and explain why.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. When you went through the categories,
Yeah.
you identified as
There was two.
superhuman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And expert
Yeah.
were the two that you looked at. I totally get the expert and super. In fact, Alix and I, these are when we did it.
Yeah.
We were both superhuman and expert.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you're in very
good company.
Okay.
Yeah. The superhuman measures competence based on how many roles they can both juggle and excel in, falling short in any role as a manager, team member, parent, partner, friend, volunteer, all evoke shame because they feel they should be able to handle it all perfectly and easily.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, to feel that.
I probably wear 10 different hats on any given day. And in my mind, in order to succeed, I have to excel at all those hats or the bottom's going to fall out.
And you often feel like you've got all these balls in the air, and that's exactly the thing,
Yeah.
that if they're gonna go, like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of,
I mean, when you are a small business owner, that is
well,
true.
it is the truth.
It is the truth,
You know,
right?
and it's just a matter of which ball can afford to fall.
To drop a
To
bit,
drop a
right?
bit.
Yeah, but
Which are glass balls.
no,
which
they
are
all need
plastic
to be.
balls.
They all need to be floating. They
Yeah.
can't drop.
Yeah.
God forbid they drop.
Oh my God. Is owning the store what you expected it to be?
So it's interesting. There's a couple perspectives on that. So I've been in sales my whole life. So my previous career, industrial, I went and got the business. I made the appointments. I went and knocked on the doors and I sold the product across the table. Now I sit back and put myself on social media and wait for them to come to me. And do you know how hard that is?
Are you type A personality?
Oh my God.
I mean, I thought so. I didn't want to say.
No judgment. We
No, no,
that's
I
what we
mean,
thought.
We're all type A here.
Yeah.
This is the type A,
And type A
positive
table.
group. But so I really understand that because you have to kind of put it out there and hope that it sticks.
Yeah. And I judge myself based on how many people come through the door. And if they're not, where are they? Why not? What am I doing wrong? Am I not reaching the right people? It can be very frustrating. I just want to go around and knock on everyone's door.
Right.
Yeah. Come see
With my
me, come
clothing.
play with my clothing. Yeah. It's a hard slug. I mean, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to put yourself out there and to have this dream and expectation and want it to so desperately succeed. You're doing it though.
I am, but I have some very close friends that have been in the retail business their whole life, and they've been great support. And my one girlfriend said, Sandra, do it, but it's going to take you 5 years. And I'm like, 5 years. So I'm like, just turned 2. I'm like,
great advice though.
It is because I have to keep relating back to that, right? Okay, I'm only on year 2. And yeah, I've had some severe, so I'm actually rebranding in the next few weeks.
Which I think is really exciting, but I'm a branding person. So
okay.
We both are very excited by it. Yeah.
I love branding.
Yeah.
But I love that advice because what it does is it sets realistic expectations,
right,
and it allows those ebbs and flows to happen without severe judgment on yourself, which is huge.
Yeah. But I told her, give me 3. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm passionate about it. I have an amazing team with me. The customers that I have are repeats. They always come back. I get amazing feedback. And I still wonder, why do I always question myself still? Why?
And that's that.
These are the same questions we've been asking every single episode. It's what will it take? What does it take to actually feel like you're a success when you have imposter syndrome? And I don't know that there is anything.
Because you're always going to want the next level.
And I think that's also that high achiever, that entrepreneurial mindset, that type A personality, that it's always going after the next thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. So
you can never just rest in a moment and say, okay, I'm going to just sit here for a little bit and enjoy this.
No, because the excitement is in
the next
because it's like, okay, I got here. Now where do I go?
Yeah.
Right.
The excitement and the joy is in strive for it, not reaching.
But it's hard. Like, it's so hard on the head.
Oh yeah, I know. It's not good.
No, it's not good. We're not saying it's a good thing. What do you do to combat some of the imposter syndrome? You go to the gym.
Oh, the gym, Orange Theory. So yeah, it's my outlet. and I need it. I actually feel my anxiety increasing, my stress levels go through the roof if I'm not in the gym at least 4 times a week.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I need to just go get it out. It's my only escape. I don't have my phone with me. I don't have email. I don't have my computer with me. I go in there and I'm committed for that hour that I'm there, and it just clears my head and allows me to refocus.
And be in the moment. I find that's the only time that I actually can be where I am and not thinking about 14 other things. I mean, not always, but most of the time trying to be, trying not to die.
Yeah.
Are you looking to up your social media game? Social media can be intimidating and overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. At Every Day on Branding, we truly believe that every day is an opportunity to showcase your brand through authentic and aligned social media strategy and content. Whether you're looking for done-for-you social management or monthly strategy sessions, the team at Every Day on Branding can help you reach your ideal audience in a way that feels aligned and drives conversion. If you'd like to have the Imposter Sisters come into your business and help you and your team get comfortable creating social media content, ask us about our new Keen to Screen program, a value-packed social media training for anyone that is looking to up their social media presence either as a solopreneur or to empower their team to be impactful brand ambassadors.
But also, like, I get so much positive feedback. So I'm retraining myself to actually stop and listen to that and digest it. Like, you know, I've always been one to, it's difficult for me to accept compliments. But now it's like when people tell me something, they're not just saying it, which I often believe they were. They're telling me because they want me to know it and they feel it. So realizing that and trying to accept that and believe it.
It's true, because most people will not go out of their way to say something to you if they don't mean it.
Right. I would like to think not. Right?
No, I think in general.
But people with imposter syndrome will always think, oh, they have to say that because
or they want to say it to make me feel better.
They want me, or they want a discount.
Or they think that, but that's not true.
That's not true. They're just saying it because they don't know what else to say. Or you have to say that because you're my sister or you're my friend or my but they're saying it because they believe it. It's true. It's
it's understand and believing that and understanding that and digesting it. And
my therapist told me to write it down whenever I get positive feedback and keep a journal. So when I'm having those moments where I'm kind of not feeling so positive, to read back through that stuff, then it kind of gets your mindset back on track.
Yeah.
The thing that happens also with imposter syndrome as well, though, you can have 15 great compliments and then one person has an issue.
Yeah.
And those 15 are gone.
And it's not that I need constant validation, but I really need to pay attention to when I do get those validations to really let it sink in and believe it.
Yeah.
Right? Which is not always easy.
No. What advice do you have for people that are chasing that dream? And
just take the chance, take the risk and do it. Believe in yourself and do it. Yeah.
And do it even if you don't believe in yourself.
No, retail is my motto.
Do you have imposter syndrome in, obviously we all do. You have imposter syndrome in other areas of your life. Where are other areas it shows up? So
it's funny. So I've had some very toxic people in my life, and unfortunately they were key people in my circle. So I've dealt with it most of my life. Pretty much. So my self-confidence has always been up and down, and I've always judged myself or compared myself to other people. And it's because of the influences that I've had throughout my life that were supposed to be pillars of support and strength. And unfortunately, they were the opposite. And just it affected the way I think of myself and how I value myself negatively. It's just. And
it doesn't matter what age.
No.
What age you're at. I mean, those things still affect you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I talk to people and stuff, and, you know, I've learned to deal with it, and I remove anything toxic from my life now. I just don't put up with it and surround myself with positive people and things. And and that's just that you're making your safety net. Oh, yeah.
You're and you have to have those boundaries, though.
It's so smart too. Yes. Often when we're treated that way from a young age, we seek out people that continue to treat us that way.
Exactly.
Which is something new that I'm like just coming to realize, which is why I brought it up. But it's so interesting because you don't really realize it at the time. And then you start to look around and you're like, oh, why am I constantly having this environment? But it's because what you're used to, and you start to seek it out. So it's so interesting and smart to have awareness and boundaries around that, because I think that's a game changer.
Yeah. So it was in my upbringing, and then unfortunately my first husband as well. So it was just, but again, like I surrounded myself with him because it at that time I thought it was comfort, but really it wasn't.
Exactly. It's
it was
what you
toxic.
felt like you knew.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What do you do for fun?
The gym.
The gym.
I love the outdoors. I travel. I love getting together with friends. Yeah, love spending time with my husband. I have 2 amazing stepkids, so we're always doing things. So I came into their lives when the youngest was 6 and the oldest was just turning 8. And it was really hard because I had to step back. I couldn't be that parent, nor did I want to, but I always felt that I needed to, I guess, because I was that role when their mother wasn't there, right? But I was quickly put in my place that no, you're going to be their friend. And that was really hard for me. So that was really, really tough.
Has it worked itself out?
Yes. Yeah. They're quite a bit older now. We have great relationship, and it was probably the best advice my husband could have given me at the time. He's like, just let them be your friend, because that's what they need. And as much as you want to also be their mother, you can't, because they have a mother. I'm not their mother. Yeah.
It's tricky. I mean,
it is.
You know, it's a tricky situation. And I think every family, it's different and the circumstances are different. Even in my family, my husband adopted my son. It came into his life when he was about 2. But that was also a kind of a tricky dynamic too, just to sort of sort out and figure out how that was going to work.
Yeah. It's a tough one. And there's books written on it. I wasn't alone in it.
Oh gosh, no.
No.
Definitely not alone.
No.
Yeah, definitely not.
I thought it would be a cakewalk, to be honest, but it wasn't.
I mean, 6 and 8, those are interesting ages too.
Yeah. Annoying ages.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
I was trying to be polite.
But nice job. What did you think about coming on a podcast? Was there imposter syndrome around that?
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm not good with public speaking. I'm not good being put in the center, in the limelight, being asked questions, being put on the spot. It's really difficult for me. But I'm always concerned I'm going to fumble over my words, or I'm not going to be able to articulate it properly, or or they're going to ask me something that I don't know that I should know. Like, what do I do then? Right? Like, I really should know that, but I don't know.
But we talk about that. That's imposter
We don't
syndrome.
know. We don't even know what questions.
We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what to ask. Yeah. We've talked about it with imposter syndrome, where we're so afraid all the time that we're going to be found out
Or put on the spot.
it's
like-
like, oh gosh, I should know the answer to that. And I don't. And now everybody's going to know I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chances are they're just like, oh, she just didn't know.
Right.
Exactly. It just makes you more relatable.
It does. And I think the problem is if you start making up a story, trying to fake, they'll always see through it if you're bullshit.
Oh,
It's exhausting to keep up.
It's so tiring. It's like, don't.
Oh, what did I tell them? Yeah.
Like this little web of lies. No.
No, it's not worth it.
What's something you would want people to know about you?
About me. I am quirky. So my nickname is Spaz. So yeah. My mother nicknamed me Spaz.
From what age?
Oh, it was in high school, like early high school, maybe grade school. Yeah, it was early on, and it stuck.
Did you like the nickname when you first
I
got
did,
it?
because it was me. Like, I've just kind of always been all over the map sort of person. Yeah. Always losing my keys, always losing stuff. And just, I'm like, it's
So does everyone call you Spaz?
yeah, like my high school friends still. Hey, Spaz. Yeah. My mom. Yeah. Yeah. It was actually engraved on the inside of my high school ring.
One of the ways to combat imposter syndrome is to actually listen to how awesome the people in your life think you are. If you're looking for the perfect gift for a loved one, where you can tell them all of the things that make them special, visit my Drawbridge Creative Etsy shop and purchase a Things We Love About You custom poster. With several styles to choose from, it's a fabulous gift for any milestone birthday, anniversary, retirement, or just because.
I don't know how you feel, but I hate watching myself on camera.
I've got no.
Or hearing my voice.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I've had to do
Yeah.
it so much.
I can't
Like this
stand.
will be hard for me to watch back.
I can't stand my voice on this podcast.
Oh, I can't stand my voice, listening to my voice.
Yeah, every now and then my voice comes in. I'm like, oh God, shrill. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And we can't.
Why are we so
can't-
hard on
we can't
ourselves,
edit it.
right?
You'll notice that we see this mic used to be in the middle of. You'll notice the mic has moved a little bit down more towards Alix because my voice is just gonna go there anyway.
The last 2 episodes, I sounded like I was in the parking lot.
Oh, jeez. That's not good either. Need to be present.
You need to be, but when I listen to it back, I'm like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. So, we're so hurt. We are our own worst enemies.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
How do we get over that?
Just gotta stay positive.
By listening to this podcast.
Yes,
honestly.
and stay positive. And just
And I think some of it is surrounding
believe
yourself.
in yourself.
Believe in yourself, but surrounding yourself with people who believe in you.
Exactly.
We talked about women empowering women.
Yeah.
And on the episode with Steph Graham. And I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who lift you up,
Exactly.
who want you to succeed,
Exactly.
and who are joyful and happy for you when you do succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
I'll
Alex,
sing though.
sing.
Speed
Round. So we are going to ask you 5 questions. We're just going to pull from our little bag of, that sounds like a bag of cat goodies. 1, 2. I don't know why I always count when I'm opening these. You don't.
I count in my head.
She needs her fingers and toes.
What are you saying?
Nothing.
You ready?
Okay, let's do this.
Who do you text the most?
My husband.
What word do you have trouble pronouncing?
Pass?
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Go to lazy dinner.
Charcuterie.
What's your favorite body part?
On me or on someone else?
You just, it could be either.
And a really nice smile, but I also love a good butt. Like my husband has a great butt.
Oh, does he?
He was a volleyball player. So
Sandra, you're fun. Thanks for joining us.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been really great chatting with you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You too.
That's a wrap. So what did you think of Sandra?
I thought she was great. I thought she was definitely full of energy. I love that her nickname is Spaz. How cool.
Oh, do you have a nickname?
I have a couple nicknames.
Tell me about them.
Well, I have one that's pretty obvious. Like my family and high school friends call me Al. Because Alix is already
Alex.
it's too long, clearly.
2
Shorten it down
syllables
to
is
Al.
hard.
But then when I moved into my university years, people started calling me Lixie. Which
Like
was
Lixie, like Lixy or Licksy?
Lixxy, because I spell my name Alix.
So you weren't like,
No, it
Lixie,
sounds a little
like,
bit
it
more
does.
promiscuous than it probably should. But it was my rebellious phase, so it's all good.
It worked.
That also had a few other offspurts of Elixir
Oh,
and Licks. Yeah, but these days I basically go by like mom.
What's your husband call you?
Alix.
I go by Queen. I will answer Queen to anybody. That's awful. But I have been called Queen since I was born, since I was a baby. My uncles call me Queen. My dad has always called me Queen. He calls me nothing but Queen. My brothers call me Queen. Most of my uncles, a lot of my uncles call me Queen. A couple of my cousins call me Queen. I'm just Queen.
Well, and then on social media, you're also a queen.
Yeah, I embrace it. There was a time that I didn't like it. But I just got to the point that it was embrace it, love it, Queen.
It's your brand.
It's my brand. I like it. Lixie.
All right, queen. Let's wrap it up.
Done.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Imposter Sisters. Please remember, we're not doctors or mental health experts. If you're looking for mental health guidance, please see our show notes for local resources. We'd like to thank our location sponsor, the Mellow Mug, located at 64 Delridge Lane, for donating this amazing space for us to have these important chats and for supplying us with drinks and goodies. Please give them a follow and make sure to stop in to see this beautiful spot for yourself. Until next time, keep your head high and we will see you next Tuesday.